Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And today we are looking at a brand new subvariant of human, potentially. Well, we're not quite sure, and scientists are trying to figure it out. Although
Scientist baffled.
I do find the title to be a little deceiving because they say in Neanderthal cave. No, it's a cave that they found Neanderthals in. It's not Neanderthal cave.
Yes.
Neanderthal cave.
Yeah, so
Sounds like a ride at Disney World.
Yes.
yes. So the cave itself is the Grotte du René cave in France, and among the remains of Neanderthal inhabitants of that cave, researchers came upon a pelvic bone that does not quite appear to match with any particularly known genus of human or proto-human lineage.
See that they did because it was a small child, and small child bones don't always preserve well. So it's remarkable that we have that, but also they were able to have two comparable um uh fossils as well to look to identify, or maybe I guess they might not call them fossils. They might not be old enough, but uh
Yes.
I have my suspicions with it because it is they can only compare it to two other well I
Neanderthal remains.
yeah,
They have
Neanderthals
yeah
for at least infants or
Infant
small
remains,
child.
yes.
Yeah.
so basically what they had is the research had access to two Neanderthal hip bones and 32 human hip bones, and the hip bone that they recovered from from this cave did not match with either category.
But they did
And
say it was vastly different than the Neanderthal one.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's a very good reason to raise eyebrows. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm just saying, like, in when it comes to identifying new species, sometimes it can be very difficult, especially when comparison models or whatever are limited. um it is why we might it's why you might see like a new dinosaur be revealed. I know that's not us, but when it comes to the fossil record, you might see, oh, potentially new dinosaur. It's because it could potentially be just a weirdo that we found.
Well,
The thing.
here's the thing. Sorry,
Oh,
you
go
go.
on, go on.
Well, Aaron, just the thing with what you're saying is I'm gonna, that is a true thing that happens, but I'm gonna disagree with necessarily the extra skepticism you're putting on here, because the Neanderthal bones that they compared it to, it was vastly different from those. It was
Yeah.
more similar to the 32 human bones that they compared it to. However, after reviewing the 32 different bones, they still felt it was different enough to declare it a potential new species.
And
And given the fact that with the era of Neanderthals and early humans, the theories of cohabitation have been gaining a lot of grounds and a lot of evidence. This could be a third party in that, or even just the offspring of that.
they actually
Yeah.
do note that in the article here. They do say that this is contemporaneous with Neanderthal inhabitation of the cave.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I won't, like I said, I would like to think that this is something, without a doubt, this is something cool. But again, would I would like to see more information, and I'm really excited because if it is a new subspecies, I'm excited for it.
Well, and
Yeah,
it's
just
also kind of interesting because they're talking about it as it's potentially a fringe subspecies that is somewhere in between Neanderthal and atomically modern humans. They don't believe it's too far of a variant, but it could be one of the earlier, you know,
yeah, yeah, because again,
Rohing.
Like a
this is
hybrid, I guess.
Yeah,
yeah, this is the era. This is the era of
it's a
cohabitation
mutt.
between humans and Neanderthals,
I
and
mean, we
you know,
we are definitely. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and well, let's also not forget that like the road to getting to the human race is been fraught with a lot of one-off oddities. Just take a look at the hobbits.
The Homo
Heavy,
floresiensis.
Yeah,
yeah, Homo
Floriensis.
floresiensis, heavy air quote hobbits. They exist on exactly one island, and they are so weird.
It is, again, yeah. It is possible. It is very much possible, and we do love to see it. Um,
There is
I
one
would
thing I
like
do
to,
want to highlight, though, about your skepticism with the comparative samples, because sometimes that's all we have.
yeah, no, I don't. I'm not saying like, oh, we only have two. How can you really say it's more of like there's not enough sample. The sample size is,
Well, that's always going to be the
yeah,
problem.
it's always going to be an issue, and that's where my skepticism is based. And again, not much you can do about it until you find more, and that doesn't mean go out into your backyard and dig one up, but obviously, but
Contact your
it's
local anthropologist.
but when you're looking at data like that and trying to make conclusions like this, having the larger the sample size the better, and it strengthens your argument for a potential new species. That's really the core of my skepticism and where it comes from.
But continuing back to this article, one of the interesting things that they do suggest and that they do potentially toss out there is if there is this era of cohabitation, commingling, that there was also in turn a mixture of culture and acculturation. And one of the signs of this is the fact that the Neanderthals may have potentially upgraded their technologies with the human neighbors.
Yeah, we obviously know that humans and Neanderthals interbred because we can see it in our own modern
DNA.
anatomically modern human DNA. But the question of culture is much different because culture does not appear in DNA. So if we have evidence of potential of cross cultural mingling, that's where the real exciting stuff is. I also like to think that Neanderthals gave. What if Neanderthals gave humans culture in Europe?
I just want to know like how well the languages actually came together, because was it like I as much as I
Don't.
don't want to think about it, as much as I don't want to think about it,
Yeah, it's linguistics.
if there was not the ability to properly communicate between the two groups, then that implies certain things about the commingling.
That's true. It is
And
a
that's the part
possibility.
I don't want to think about. But if they are able to communicate, yeah, what is it like? Is it like neighbors from far off? Like, oh, these are my cousins and they're very hairy. They're like scratching their backs. You're like, you live like this, guys? As you're wearing your nice loincloth.
Oh yeah, they're fat. It's like, man, their fashion is so 50,000 BC. Gosh.
I like to think of it as one side is very Minnesotan and the other is like pure South Carolina.
Oh,
Oh.
one's got that passive aggressive southern accent.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, you guys know exactly what I'm going for with
Oh
that
yeah.
statement.
But
Oh,
With that Americanism,
I can't
God
wait to see
save us
more come
all.
out of this though.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Hopefully, we get to hear more about this in the news and actually goes somewhere, and it's not just something that gets drowned out.
well, I guess that is something that time will only tell. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.